have no control. Like, seriously, I have no control. Hey guys, it's me, Jessica, and you weren't expecting that intro. Yeah, the intro's a new thing. I'm gonna trying to spruce it up a little bit. A couple of videos ago, I told you guys I was on a book buying ban, and that is still in effect. I just bought more books when I wasn't supposed to. Ha! Yeah, great. So, actually, the day that I posted that video where I talked about where I was on a book buying ban, as well as all the other updates, I will link that video down in the description below, so you guys can go check that out if you didn't see it. But, that day that I did post that video, I bought 5 books. So, I thought I would do a book haul of my combinations of January, February, and the 5 books I bought, for spring break. So, that's this video, and we're just gonna do it. I do have a bit of a cold, so if I do sound a little bit weird, that's just because I got the sniffles. Alright, so the first book I have is Circle and Stones, and this is by Catherine Fisher. She's the author that wrote Incarceron, which I started reading, then stopped reading, and now I'm getting rid of it. But this book looks really interesting. I believe it has a time traveling kind of element to it. There's a character from this time period today, 300 years ago, and the ancient past. So there are 3 different characters, and it all is around, I think it's around the same area. I think it might be England. Yeah, England. Yeah, so, same area in England, and it's all just, I don't really know what it's about, but it looks really intriguing. I love the cover a lot, so I'm excited to pick it up and read it. I got it at the dollar store for $1, so, you know, good deal. So the next book I bought is Emperor of Thorns, and this is by Mark Lawrence. This is book 3 in the Broken Empire trilogy. I believe it's a trilogy. The first one's called Prince of Thorns, and the second's called King of Thorns. It was $1. I've been interested in reading this series for a while now, so it was $1. It's hard copy. It's not one of those mass-produced paperbacks because this is a strictly fantasy series. So I intend to go on Amazon and get the rest of the series in not mass paperback, but, you know, something similar to this. What I know about this series is I believe it's about a boy who is out for revenge. I don't know much about it. The reason I'm interested in this series is because I saw Rick Riordan had read it, and then I had read the synopsis, and I got really interested into it. I don't really remember a lot of the synopsis. I just know that I really want to read it. That tends to happen with a lot of books. So, yeah, here we go. Alright, so next I've got, this is part of my collection of Shakespeare's. It's Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare in the Folgers edition. Do you know how hard it is to find a Folgers edition of Romeo and Juliet that a student hasn't written in? It's really hard, and this is a copy that hasn't been written in, and I've thoroughly checked this. It looks brand new. There's like a little bit of damage on the side, but other than that, it looks perfect. And so I'm really excited to put this on my shelf and have it there next to my Hamlet, because when I was a freshman in high school, of course we read Romeo and Juliet, but I lived in a place where there weren't a lot of fluent English speakers, so I did a lot of reading for Juliet as well as the nurse, because that nurse has that monologue. So we didn't read the whole of, no, I think we did read the whole of Romeo and Juliet, I just don't remember a lot of it. But now I have the Folgers edition, and I'm excited to have it and maybe reread it someday. I still have a lot of Shakespeare's I need to get through, but you know what? Now I've got Romeo and Juliet. So the next book I got, it's a fantasy, and I have the whole trilogy in the mass paperback versions, and this is a paperback, but it's not that type. It's Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson in the, you know, the big floppy version of it. So I will be reading this edition, and hopefully I'll be getting my hands on the other 2 as well, because I really like these better than the mass-produced paperbacks, even though they're cheaper. It's just they're a lot easier to read, and it doesn't make me feel like I haven't read anything, because I'll read like 50 pages of the other copy I have of it, and I barely made a dent. So I have this, and I have marked where I had left off in my other copy, so I'll just carry on from here. So I'm excited for it. The next book I have is The School of Good and Evil, A World Without Princes, and this is by Soman Chainani. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I'm so sorry. This is the second book. I have the first and the third, and so here I have the second, and I really hope to just binge read this trilogy. It is middle grade, and I'm like semi-interested in middle grade books. There are a few where I just, like, they have amazing covers. I love the covers for these, so I'm excited to get to read them. I also want to read the Fablehaven series by Brandon Mull. I have all of them. If you didn't check that out in my TBR, like, reorganization and haul video I did, they're in there. But now I have The School of Good and Evil, so I'll get to reading these soon. Alright, so the next couple of books I got, I was really excited. So these next books I got for spring break. These were my spring break books, and I was so excited for them. My mom and I, we went shopping on Thursday, and we went to 2 different thrift stores, and then we went to a mall, and that was where I got a lot of stuff. It was so good. Okay, anyway, moving on. The first book I have to show you from my spring break is The Game of Love and Death, and this is by Martha Brockberg? I think that's how I pronounce her last name. But this is a book I've been waiting to read for a little while now. It's, so I don't know if they're gods, but love and death play games where they put 2 people together and they see if they will survive. So like Helen of Troy and Paris, Antony and Cleopatra, Romeo and Juliet, and I believe the main characters in here are Henry and Flora. That's what it says in here. So yeah, I'm excited to read this book. I feel like it's going to be very interesting. I just like the concept of it. It's a book I've been waiting to read for a while. I forgot when it was published. Let me see if I can find out when it was published. It says 2015 on here, so it's been 2 years. The next book I have is Queen of Hearts, and this is by, this backwards. It was backwards. Queen of Hearts by Colleen Oakes. I've noticed a few trends. There are trends that happen, I feel like, within the publishing, like the YA world, and retellings was kind of a thing that happened after Cinder. Like, Cinder got big, and then all of a sudden there's all of these retellings, and I feel like the Queen of Hearts is a pretty big one, especially since Marissa Meyer, who kind of started this retelling trend, also did a Queen of Hearts retelling. Or origin story, which I haven't read yet, but I do own. Hopefully I'll get to it soon. But I got Queen of Hearts by Colleen Oakes. I believe this also has a second. I don't know if it has a third book yet. Yeah, I don't know if it's also an origin story of Queen of Hearts as well, or it's just like the Queen of Hearts' rise to power, because it says evil is rising in Wonderland, so I am excited to read it. I love the cover. I love how it looks like a card. I'm really excited to read it. And I'll just, read it and review it. So the next book, I've been waiting years to get this book. So if you haven't noticed right here, I only own Legend and Champion by Marie Lu. I do not own Prodigy. And I have been contemplating whether or not to actually buy Prodigy, like, brand new at a bookstore, paperback, for $10. And always in the back of my mind, I was like, but what if you could get it for $2 at a thrift store? What if you could get it for $2 at a thrift store, like I did? Oh, I finally have Prodigy, you guys. I finally have Prodigy. It's so good to have this because I feel like rereading the Legend trilogy. I loved it a lot. I loved it more than I liked the Hunger Games and Divergent. I really like Legend, and I really need to read the Young Elites trilogy and Warcross. The cover for Warcross looks amazing. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. I will link the Goodreads page for it. It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous cover, and I'm so excited to read it. I'm so excited to get it and just read it. I love books. Yes. So Prodigy by Marie Lu. So happy to have this on my shelf. It's gonna go right here, and then these broken stars are gonna have to move. Yeah, so soon that video I talked about the kind of time lapse of me redoing this shelf should be coming out pretty soon. I have a very big stack right over here. So yeah, get ready for that, and Prodigy will finally be on my shelf. So the next book I was a little iffy on buying, but I've heard so many great things about this book. I have heard zero bad things about this book that it was $2.99 at a thrift store, and I was just like, I'll get it. And it's Dark Matter, and this is by Blake Crouch. I think that's his name, Blake Crouch. Yeah, like $2.99, you guys. $2.99! I got it. And look, red dusted pages. Red dusted pages. So if you're one of those people that looks at my shelf and you're like, oh, she only reads YA, you're wrong. I have a few adult books that I'm very interested in reading, and this is one of them. I also have Night Film. I forgot who the author is. I'll, edit Jessica will just do that for me. And I have, like, the next 2 books I have here are also adult books. So, just, yeah, I don't only read YA. And, yeah. But I'm really excited to read this. I've read the synopsis. I have a friend of mine who said he still hasn't gotten over this book. I love the cover as well of this paperback. I explained it to a friend. I explained what I got from the synopsis to a friend, and now she's interested in reading it. So, there's that. The next book I got, BookTuber talked about this book. She didn't say a lot about it, but it was enough to get me interested. So when I saw it at Books A Million, on sale for $6.50, $7. I was a little off. I decided I was going to get it, and that is You, and this is by Caroline Kepnes. I'm horrible with last names. I am horrible with just names in general, but it's supposed to take place in the second person or second perspective, however you call it. It's supposed to take place in that. You are a character named Joe who is stalking this woman named Guinevere, and you're trying to insert yourself into her life, which is creepy, but I love it. I want to read this. That's why I bought it. I love the back. I'm going to read the back to you guys. You're going to be so sorry when you realize what you made me do. The good news is that I have no regrets. Yes, and apparently I found out when I went on Goodreads that there's actually a second book. I don't know if it's out yet, but there's supposed to be a second book. So I gotta get on to reading this and then go get the second one. But I'm excited to read it. I love how it looks like paper, and then there's just like blood, because I'm creepy. So, there we go. Now, it's time for the best book I've bought so far this year, and so far this year. It might get a little better. But, it's Song Rising by Samantha Shannon. The 3rd book in the Bone Season series. Yeah, Bone Season saga or series? I don't care. I have the Song Rising in its supposed original cover. Aha. So if you don't know the story about what happened with the Bone Season, they had changed all of the covers, including the new one, this one, Song Rising. It looks different. It's got like a white cover. It's got the Song Rising. It's got a ring of fire and a crown in the middle of that ring of fire. And it wouldn't match the covers I have right now, which, I love. But I think it was a blog post that I read of Samantha Sharon, I forgot her name real quick. She said that the original illustrator of the first 2 books had made a cover for the 3rd book, but the Bloomsbury, which is the publication company, yeah, was changing the covers, so there would be limited editions of this one. And not only are they limited edition, but they're also signed. It's also signed, you guys. It's signed. It's signed by Samantha Shannon. So I just had to get it, and there's a rip here, there's a bump in here, and the people at Books A Million were so kind to give me a discount because of it. And I'm so happy I have this, you guys. You have no idea. I've waited 2 years for this book. I read The Mime Order 2 weeks before it came out because I found an art copy at the thrift store 2 weeks before it came out, and I just read it. And then I heard that the publication for this one was set back a year. So yes, I had to wait 2 years for this book to come out. And not only that, but the second book has a cliffhanger, and I am just so ready to read this book. But here's the deal. I just finished Empire of Storms by Sarah J Maas, and I am going through a book hangover right now. I know, pray for me. And right now, I want some more Sarah J Maas. And the only Sarah J Maas book that I have and haven't read is A Court of Mist and Fury. So I've decided that I'm going to read A Court of Mist and Fury and then probably have a book hangover about that and wish I had A Court of Wings and Ruin. And right now I'm very pissed off at Kale because there's that Kale book and Kale keeps getting in the way. Anyway. But hopefully I'll quickly get over my A Court of Mist and Fury book hangover and I will get right into The Song Rising by Samantha Sharon. And I need to read this book so much. I love this series. I highly recommend this series. It is so good. It's actually adult. It's fantasy, like kind of, I don't want to say dystopian, but it's futuristic a little bit. You know, it takes place in the future, and there's clairvoyant people, and like clairvoyancy is like outlawed, and our main character is just badass and amazing. So highly recommend the Bone season, but you're gonna have to get them in the new covers because the old covers and the new covers aren't very compatible, let's just say. And there's nothing wrong with the new covers. I mean, they're just white, and I kind of have a thing where I don't really like white covers. I don't know what it's about. Let's just skip this whole shebang. I got this book. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. So, I don't know if I want to hold them all for a thumbnail. Should I hold them all for the thumbnail? Screw it, I'm doing it. So let's do this. We're gonna start with the base. The base is gonna be all of our card copies, because that's what you want to do. Stability. Stability, you guys. Let's see if I can do this. My arms hurt too because I had a really intense boxing personal training the other day. So, you know, this is probably gonna hurt a lot. Oh, move the camera. Hopefully this will be the last book haul for a while. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh yeah, look at that. Can I get them all on camera? Oh, the Song Rising just needs to get in there. Oh, I'm losing Romeo and Juliet. Oh no, here we go. Hi, look at that. Haha. Oh jeez, oh jeez. Okay, and it didn't fall down. I just jinxed myself, didn't I? No, I didn't. Haha, look at that. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a like. Also, comment down below about what book you're interested in, what books that you might be interested in that I got, or what books you have read and that you liked or disliked. You know, just give me an opinion. I would like to talk to you guys. Just give me some discussion. Give me some discussion. Make sure to subscribe so you guys know when I make a new video, and if you want to ring that bell down there to get a notification when I make a new one, go ahead and do that, because that would be great. That would be great, you guys. Alright, anyway, I want to stop talking. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.